Hello. How are we all doing? Let me get the audio. Okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am back. We are ready to do some real game dev. My hair's all messed up. I accidentally pressed the go live button instead of record while I was doing my sound check, and I was like, I guess we're going live. What you gonna do? All right. Welcome to the stream. My name is Isaac, if you've forgotten, but probably not. We're making a Metroidvania. And it's been going pretty well. We haven't done a progress check in a while. We have sort of gotten to that point now where we've got most of the building blocks in place, but we sort of have to build out the content and the art. And so we've just been working through the enemies and giving them a facelift. They used to be red blobs, but now they are silver and blue. You know, we're trying to give them something a little bit more serious of a look, if that makes sense. So, if I run the project, turn off the sound because that's annoying. So we've got all these things like these silver guys. I don't think I'm going to keep these here, but basically they'll do damage to you and you can shoot them and things break now, you know, stuff like that. We got to fix up the gravity settings on that one there. It just floats. Anyway, so yeah, just updating all the enemies so that they actually react to the world is basically what we've been doing. And now I think that one has a bit of a pop in. That's kind of interesting. And now I think we actually have the opportunity to add a new enemy, which is pretty fun, that I've been conceptualizing. Oh, we've got this guy that's red. He's not really an enemy. It's just a spike that drops from the sky. And yeah, we'll have to take note on the pop in for the body of that character. I think we can utilize threads for that potentially. We have a tool for that. Do the bodies stay in the world forever? No. They will slowly disappear, and if you leave the room, they will instantly disappear. Reddit Planet, welcome to the chat. You can see if you just stand here for a while, the crawlers, I believe, will just stay in the world forever, but these ones will just sort of fade out over time. Because, and the reason for that is because in one of we've got like a lot of, I call them gauntlets, but they're kind of like pretty common in modern Metroidvanias. Facility, I think it's number 6. No, it must be number 7. Yeah, okay, this room here. So if we go to this room here and we run like one of these gauntlets, it can be very overwhelming with the number of enemies you have to fight, you know? And so you'll end up with a lot of debris. Oh God, that is like too cruel, I think. You end up with a lot of debris on the ground. And so it just sort of seemed better. I think there's a problem with the rocket launcher dudes. Like, he doesn't move. Oh, I need to update the missiles they shoot as well. Dude, that's not going to give up. They need to explode too. Okay, so that's another thing. And some other things as well. Like, I'm looking at these enemies. I think I've done a pretty good job, except like some things look a little bit amateur. But, you know, we'll work through it. But yes, new enemy, I think. Just because it's a bit more interesting and a bit more fun. So, where's A-Sprite? I don't think I've exported it. It's called the Tower. And it looks tiny. So he looks, it's got a bit of a face. And basically it's going to shoot like bouncing. It's going to like, it'll shoot out probably in your direction. And then it'll just continuously shoot these little like projectiles that will sort of bounce and then explode. I think that'll be fun. Now, the issue that I am having with enemy design, and it's something that I've been struggling with from the start, is that because our character is able to shoot, that a lot of enemies don't really pose too much of a threat. Like the missile shooting enemy doesn't, especially if it doesn't pursue you. I don't know why it does that. Let's have a quick look at that. What's the name of it? I think it's just called Tank. Or did I change its name to Sentinel? Okay. Visible on-screen notifier. Okay. Trick for players. If that's turned off, your character will not do anything. I don't know. Like maybe I changed the speed of the character. I'm actually not too sure what we can do to like make this a little bit more threatening. Because the missiles are pretty hard to avoid, but like if you're far enough away, it's not much of an issue. I think probably what we need to do is have a look at the detection area. It's pretty big. Like I would say that's bigger than the screen. You know what I mean? Like if I turn on visible collision shapes and we just go to a place where that is, the facility entry 1, and we grab where we're going to spawn. Just move that for a second. To reset that eventually. Put ourselves over there. If you're working on something for a while, right mouse click the scene and add to favorites. Ooh. Like here? Is that his main scene? Is that down here? Facility 1. On the object. Add to favorites. Where does that show up? Oh, favorites. Oh, that's cool. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. You can add the game state to the favorites. That's an important node. Yeah. Dude, that's awesome. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so in terms of where you see versus the player will see you, right? Because line of sight, I guess, is an important factor. So here we are like on the very edge of their detection. They're on screen. To make enemies pose more of a threat with you being able to shoot stuff, you could have the challenge center around dealing with multiple enemies. Yeah, which is why we've got like a couple of those gauntlets. Like there's never just one enemy. There's always a couple, so you have to like overwhelm the player. But yeah, so like you can see, I can see, so it's important to note, like if I can see the enemy, I can kill the enemy. If my bullets go off screen, they're despawned. There's a bit of a delay. So like in theory, if you know like an enemy is there, you can sort of a little bit pre-fire, especially if you're moving towards them. Like, but that's kind of like just, that's platformers or like Metroidvanias in general. Like knowing the layout of the enemies does make a difference. But yeah, the fact that I can stand here and see him before he will detect me and come towards me. Although like this is just like bad design because he can't shoot straight. He always shoots up. But yeah. See, this is where it's like, oh shit, I gotta kill that guy and I'm just taking damage from this. But yeah. So I would say, first of all, this is not a good spot for one of him because obviously, well, maybe we'll replace him with the tower. But yeah, that detection area might need to be a bit bigger. Like maybe it needs to be, and it doesn't matter as well. Like it's important to note that if the enemy is not on the screen, it's not going to activate. So we can actually make the player detection area a bit bigger. I might have set the size up for this, like when I didn't even have that, because it's not even the size of like the resolution, which I think is 320. That is like, I need like a file with that information because I'll be honest with you guys, like I forget all the time because it's not even like in the project settings. Because if you go to the project settings, this is like viewport whip the night. It's like 720p. But if we go to the camera and we go to the camera rig and we look at the camera 2D, no, the camera rig, where is it? There's a variable somewhere. Desired pixel height is 120, 180, I should say. And that sets the width. The variable width, that can be any width. But I think on a 1080p screen, it's 320. I think. Well, I guess I would say on a 16:9 screen, it would be 320. Either way, we could probably make this significantly larger so that the enemy will see you no matter when you're on screen. Is this just... Or even if we just, like, you could just make it 400 as like a number. So now I can't. Am I close enough to do damage? Yes, I am. What is the... Anyway, we'll worry about that later. I'm like, the player shouldn't really be able to kill stuff that isn't on screen. Even Steven, welcome, welcome. I don't even think the time delay on the bullets is like actually something that I put in. It's just that they have the visible on-screen notifier. It takes time. Like it takes a couple of milliseconds to actually detect. Okay, so we've got the tower. I have to export this out. Split tags. I don't think it has like a moving animation, it just sort of floats. Should I mean, whatever, we'll just go with this. We'll design this enemy because it's fun, because I haven't looked at like AI in a second. So I kind of want to like make a new enemy from the ground up to see how it feels, because, you know, a big part of like Metroidvanias is having like a large number of enemies. So I need to like to know how that works pretty well. We'll have a good process. And I think we had like a pretty good like AI when we redid the first boss. I think we did a pretty good job. Under project, assets, enemies. This is the tower. I can't spell. There's also like the top part of it that I need to export as a single sprite. Visible layer and selected frame. Hello, Nighttime Crafts. How are we doing? This is the rocket. GIF? I don't want to export it as a GIF. Wait. PNG. Please. Okay. So do we just go fresh? Just inherit class AI enemy? That's kind of scary. I've done this in a while, guys. This actually should be an enemy sprite too. It's like a specific sprite that you can use for the flash. So is it 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Around the wrong way. There we go. It can be a square, that's fine. And an animation player. Then we just need to set up the state machine. I mean, it really just needs to walk. Like, it doesn't really need to do much. Animation player. None of my enemies wander. They just, except for the crawler, I guess. We need a marker that makes it. Is he not centered? Oh no. Interesting. Can you do subpixel? There. Technically, yeah, he's not centered. Wait, it's not centered. He's off center. I just realized that. Pretty funny. Run for the cheese weasel. What is the cheese weasel? Is that my dog? He is a bit of a cheese weasel. Okay. Centered. Okay, so that's where whatever it can be. Got that. And then we just need to set up a state machine. Basically, like, make it do stuff. Just save this. Not as an AI enemy, but as a tower. Scenes, enemies, enemy variants. Tower, save. Okay, easy. Alright, so we've got that. Now, yeah, state machine. And we need an AI controller. I forget what that's even called. Is boss AI? I wonder, it's interesting. Did I just call it like boss AI instead of like something else? Or even if I go security drone, I think is the boss, right? It's got a lot going on. State controller, state machine, state controller. Extend state controller. Okay, it is called state controller, and it's parent to the state machine. Okay, I understand. Also, I really settled it on being just a node, eh? All right, it's fine. Extend script. Wait, is there like a different state machine for... There's an enemy state machine. Enemy motion, I think it's called. Ground enemy motion specifically. I should change the name of the other one. I think the difference is like the other one you can move in the y-axis, that's it. Like it'll take that into account when it like decides on what direction to move. Chase, ground enemy motion. Charge. Wait, it's just a node, it's called charge. I suppose technically that could just be the idle script. It's not going to do anything. That's case wrong. What else does it need to do? Fire its weapon, I guess. Once again, it's just called a node. I keep forgetting. Okay. That should be the basis of it. I can spell. Okay, we've got the state controller. We assign the state machine. We have the character, which is this, the navigation agent, which we haven't added to this. I wonder if we'll have trouble with this. Navigation obstacle, navigation agent 2D. Is this depreciated? Did I see like a little thingo on this? What does this say? Experimental. Okay. Oh, there's a lot more navigation stuff now. Wait, what does this do? So a navigation agent used to pathfind a position, which is what we use that for. Then you've got a link between two positions on navigation 2Ds that agents can be routed through. And then obstacles that needs a navigation and outline vertices. Right, so if you had like obstacles in your navigation, then maybe that would count. And then obviously the region. Interesting, okay. The more you know. Okay, so we add the navigation agent. Oh, and he needs data. Alright, so we add the data. How fast does he go? 150. How fast does the sentinel move? I don't see any reason for it to go faster than that. So 50. Maybe we'll make it go a little bit quicker. Go with 80. Range, I don't even know what that does. And acceleration, okay, that's fine. Animation player. Animation player. Yeah, let's have a look at the code for data. What am I doing with the range? It doesn't say anything. Ignore unused private class variable, okay. Does motion do anything with range? Oh, that's how far it can see you. Before, yeah, okay, so I know what this does. So basically, if you walk out from this distance, it will stop trying to attack you and start trying to chase you instead. So that's basically the distance at which that happens. Range, I mean, I actually think this needs to have a pretty short range because it's going to drop physics objects that bounce around and we want them to be like kind of, I don't know, yeah, 100. What's the range on the Sentinel? It's got 100. I feel like the range on the Sentinel is too short, to be honest. Let's bump it. All right. We've got that. Okay. Easy, easy, easy. And now we just have to define the behaviors of each of these. Idle, okay, obvious. We don't have to do anything. State controller, we have to... State controller does most of that stuff, so... Really, in the idle, we need just to create like an animation for the idle. So like idle, caps lock's on. So this is just going to be the this base animation or base frame. There's no animation at the moment. Animation frame 0. Okay, reset track. Okay, so charge is going to be not that one where he dies, but this here. Create. Don't create reset track. And not 30 frames, but probably 10. And then there's file. Every 0.5 seconds, I guess. Fire rate. That's fine. Okay, so that's that. So yeah, it's just for the idle state. It's really easy because we just want to go into the enter. So that just happens when you enter the state, and we're literally just going to go. I think it's data.animation. I don't know how we do it. I have to check that. Animation player is a variable that I have access to. So oh, that's right. I have to get and I have to call get animation player. Or animation set animation player, because the variable is with it. You have to base. I don't know why it's called set. It should be called get. And then animation player dot play. That's a lot of refactoring, unfortunately. Idle. Yeah, it's called set animation player, but I'm literally calling. Oh, and also like what? Get parent get node data animation player. Dude, that is a way you can do it, I guess. Get parent dot target. Okay, there's a lot of that happening here. Get parent dot get node data dot animation player. Will that even work in this context? Because I've nested it extra. Should this really not be owner.getNode? Am I going to completely break the game by doing that? Only one way to find out. Could also do signals. Nothing wrong with a signal here. Like you could just signal the animation to the parent node as well. That would be fine, but whatever, we'll do this. Let's run it and see if the other enemies still work, I guess. Nope. Okay. Do they not have an owner, or is the owner not the right thing? because I've double nested this, so it's going to be a problem for get parent. It'll have to be get parent dot get parent, and that's not acceptable in my. I think one get parent is like okay. Like I say, it's not like really ideal. But yeah, this is not ideal at all. Now, I think I do this a little bit differently. In one of my other characters, like the main character, node not found animation player, relative to root ground enemy. Also, so this is just a node path. Dot animation player. I guess the question is like, not animation player. I want the data. We have access to the data. That's just a node path. Let me have a read of the docs. A pre-pass scene tree. Type represents a path to a node in a hierarchy of nodes. It's designed to be efficiently passed into many built-in methods. Get node set indexed. Get concatenated subnames. Get name count, get subname is absolute, is empty. Returns true if the node path is absolute. Unlike relative path, a node path that is represented by... Oh yeah, okay. Can be used to reliably access nodes from the root node. Yeah, but that won't work either because I can't make it absolute, I don't think, because I'm dragging and dropping it. It can't be an object because it is a resource, so resources can't hold references to objects, right? So no, it can't. What can't it do? They're kind of weird like that, right? Like if you can't just change this to animation player, I'm pretty sure it'll crack the shits. Node export is only supported in node derived classes. Yeah, that's actually not allowed. We've got node path, if that's all we've got as an option. I can't really spend the time. The question is, do I spend the time just changing this to like emit a signal? Because honestly, like that would probably work better. Because getting to this is kind of difficult. So instead of actually just calling the animation player during these states, just emit a signal to even a separate node that controls the animations that has access to it, like just a node that's up here somewhere. Because I'm pretty sure I'm connecting signals in this. Velocity computed connect state on velocity computed. Surely there's a signal connect for velocity change, right? State dot velocity change. So that like how we do the velocity is we emit a signal. So like why can't we go state dot animation request dot connect? I suppose we can leave that path in for legacy. So for these old enemies we can keep that, but for the new enemies we can just switch to a signal, because like there's no reason we don't do a signal here. I feel like it just makes more sense. Like I guess that's just the benefit of time and doing this over and over again. Animation requested. Animation change requested. And we connect that. Do we connect it to a... The one thing we won't have access to is knowing when an animation is finished, but I don't really use that often. So you can do that and you can connect that to the character since we have access to that. You can even set the state.animation player. There's other ways you can do it. Like the other way is just to say like state.animation player. That is a variable, right? It doesn't know, does it? Yeah, because it's derived class animation player equals character. No, it equals animation player. Except for the fact this is the enemy state machine. We can say data dot character dot get node data plater. Is that what it says? Yeah, thank you. Data dot animation player. That I think would work. We're also just like moving the dodginess up one level. just shift that up. I think signal makes more sense here. Let's switch to signal. Signal just makes a lot of sense to me. Everything is saying do a signal. It won't be in this state though. That's crazy. Animation change requested. And then it'll have a animation which is a string. Leave unused signals out of this. Okay, animation change requested as a signal for the enemy motion. And then when we go to the state controller, the enemy state machine, we're saying extends state machine, enemy state machine. Is this okay in the enemy state machine? Yes, I assume most enemies are going to want to change animations. So here we can say state, what did I just call it? Literally forgotten already. And I can't be bothered to type it out. And then you connect that to a function on your character. And so, yeah, it's still dodgy because we're calling the character in the state machine, but like, come on, man. Like, what else can we do? Like, we're doing our best here to like make the non-dodgies. What do you call it? Like play animation? Well, I mean, I suppose technically the correct way to name them is on animation change requested. Now, the interesting thing about this request John, animation change requested, we are saying that every single enemy character needs to have that function. So we also need to go and see the character body is just a character body 2D, which is insane, right? Okay. This should be enemy. Is it enemy or enemy AI? I think we're gonna say it's enemy. Does this have the function? It doesn't even have the function. So, and when I say it doesn't even have the function, I mean even the one above, like on velocity changed. So that must just be in AI enemy. On velocity change, right? So it is really just the AI enemy that can change velocity. Okay, it makes sense. We do have a state machine. It's not going to work without an AI. I guess. a string. And then animation, and we have to have an animation player set here. Animation plater. And then animation play. Is it called animation player? Play animation player. I guess like we're also hamstringing ourselves into whether or not this is going to be a mixer. Because if it was a mixer, I mean, you would still request changes with strings. You would just have to probably derive this class and change it to like a transition request instead of like just calling animation player.play. Animation player dot play and then animation. And I suppose we should probably do some checks here just to make sure. We say if animation player, if not animation player, then return. So we don't crash if we forget to set it, or like we emit this signal without intending to. And then I don't know if you can do like, if you call an animation player.play that doesn't have that animation, I think you just get a warning, like the game doesn't crash. So I think that's fine. I don't think there's anything else we can do. I don't think there's any other functions. Has section has animation. So we can actually do a check like that. So we can essentially do like an assert. I don't know what you do here though, like push warning. And then what, like comma, self.name. I think you can just call name, right? Something like that. I don't know. Whatever. And then I guess we can also return out. Like we don't need to continue. All right. Okay. If not, I should say as well, we want to do a negative there. If not, animation player has an animation. Okay, so easy. We connect that up to our enemy state machine. Connect character on animation change requested. And then in theory, everything is fine in the world. Because if I go to ground enemy motion, or if I go to enemy motion, we're gonna change this back to just like set animation player. We will change this. I mean, I'll have to refactor. I think like I would like to, rather than just leave all the old enemies doing this, but a vast number of the enemies in the game use this. So I just need to be pretty slow about changing that when it comes to like the design, because it was a long time ago that I did this and I just was trying to get something up and running, and I don't really like using get parent too much. So we try to avoid that where we can. And then we're sort of, I mean, what we're doing in the state machine isn't really that different to like get parent. I've just set the variable. So it's a lot more readable. So the state machine. Get usually means a tiny hiccup in mobile. I would have a reference to it. You can get away with more being in desktop. Yeah. So like, and that's what I was literally just about to say. In the parent script, the state machine, I have a reference to the character as the enemy. This should be AI enemy. And so this will give you, rather than having to call get parent, you can just say character. AI viewers. How long did it take you to learn to do this? I don't know, like 5 years. 5 years, give or take. I also like, what I think really helped not that everyone's going to do this. I mean, people learn different rates. I think what I would say is like just make, because there's a lot of stuff here that I would never consider because I used to just make a lot of prototypes. Like I'd never really make a big game. I would just do like, you know, your 2-day game jams, I would make a lot of like prototype projects, a lot of demo projects, and I'd put them up on the Godot asset store. I still like doing that because it's fun. You know, it's not as difficult as making a full game, but you don't get to take these things into consideration. What I will say is like those things did help me sort of like have the mindset of like trying to create something that's designed well, because if you put it on the internet, people will criticize it. If you put your code up for people to look at, and if you make videos on how to make those things, people will point out where you've made like really obvious mistakes. So like that has helped me have that mindset. I still make tons of mistakes and I'm not a professional. So, but like, yeah, I've learned a lot from just like doing that. So like, I will know intuitively that like no one likes it. Like I know, so like get node. I mean, you can still use it, right? Like get node. You can do that if you want, it'll work. But I know I could never make a video saying to do that. People would crucify me. And so when I do it, I'm like, okay, hang on a second. Like when I'm looking at that in code, I'm like, no, I need to like do something differently. I know the principles because they've been drummed into me from the community. But yeah, like just make larger projects because you'll just learn as you go. If you're interested in making games. So did we break it or is it all fixed? Yeah, especially if you're someone that doesn't like work as someone who codes, like if you're not a software engineer, you're never going to get like feedback on your code unless you show it to people. If you want that, it's very vulnerable. It's pretty challenging to go through, but it's good. It'll help you improve. But you can make a game with like horrible code. Of course you can make a game with like get parent, get node. Or even just like the ... path if you want. Okay, the game didn't crash when I ran it, so I think we're good. Ouch. Dude, this guy just doesn't quit. I need to change that. But yeah. All right, so let's continue on with the tower. So now we have a way of doing that. So rather than animation play, this thing here where we set the animation player, what we can do is instead say animation change requested .emit, and then we can just type in here. We can hard code this. Or even if you wanted to be special, you could put like an export here, but like, nah, I'm not going to do that since it's just one line. Just make sure it's the same as this. So animation change requested, and same, to be honest, same with Chase. Chase has no animation at the moment, so it's just going to be going into the idle. I don't really even necessarily have to call that, but I'll put it there so that if I do add one, then it's just a matter of calling a different animation. Okay, so we've got the chase. Chase is the really important one. We've got the state controller. So the state controller is going to control everything. I'm going to extend that. The tower is going to have its tower state controller. I'll give it a different name so that it doesn't get confusing in the searchy thingy. Now, this is the part that I kind of wanted to get to, where we're going to need to learn how to, well, relearn or continue to learn how to use the state controller that I designed and how it can be used. So basically the idea is like Chase isn't going to do anything other than it's going to get given a target, and realistically all it needs to do is sort of have that information. So I guess how dumb do we want to make it? So we have a target variable. So we have target. I need to remember my code. Ground enemy motion. So when we ask for move, so basically we just want to move, when we're chasing, we want it to move towards the player. Now we do have information about where the player is. How much does Chase want to know about it is the question. So move function, super simple. We just need to pass it in a direction. And then stop, obviously stop, and that is it. There is no gravity for this character, I don't think. It's not gonna need it. So, actually that's an interesting question that I've never had to consider. What happens with some of my characters if they fly off the edge of something? Because a lot of them, they just sit on the ground and they go left and right, but they don't ever, like, they're not, I don't ever apply gravity, because, like, I've never really felt like it was necessary. They don't jump. Something to consider. Okay. So we just need move, which means we need to know where to move to. We have access to the target, and then we can say just go towards it. So we can get the direction as a vector 2 when we enter it into this state. We can say it's equal to target dot global position dot direction 2. We got check for target, get player position. That function, oh, okay, so we can get target player position, right? So we've got a function for that. Get navigation direction. We pass it, okay, we do have functions for this already. So that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, surely I've like created something for this. Right, so we can say, and we can do the math on that, basically get navigation direction. So we can just call that and pass in the target, and then we'll get a direction basically from that, and then we pass that into some of this functionality needs to be moved to the AI controller rather than on the state machine itself. In fact, like some of this realistically, I mean, I think get navigation direction like does make sense to be a part of the movement, because if I'm calculating, it depends on the character, right? Like this guy isn't gonna pursue that closely, but if I did want something to be able to follow the player in a more intentional way, I'm gonna need to be updating the direction more often. But yeah, like how often you update this, or you know, all that kind of stuff. So we can be calling that probably every frame. I don't think there's any issues there. We are going to the navigation agent for that, but I'm pretty sure, I mean, you could put it like a timer on that. We could do that too. Get navigation direction. Tower. Base. So this just needs to be get navigation direction? No. What the hell? Am I dumb? Yeah, oh, it is called get navigation direction. Okay. And then target. Target invalid function should be vector 2, so it needs to be like global position. Really? Okay. So we need to go get target position. Is that the pattern? You get target position. Oh, we can just call that rather. Let's just go rather the target and global position, because it'll do a check to make sure that the target actually exists, which is good. Get target get player target position. Whoa, that is not what we wanted to call. Right? We'll have that initiated there so that we can access it in the process function. But we'll start with that, and then in the update function, state update, we just need to call, there's a function within the ground enemy motion. It's all built in. Literally, oh yeah, it is literally just get those two functions plus move. That's it. And we probably need to design like an update interval. Wonder if this should be derived interval. A float. It will make it up probably every 2 seconds. I don't know. Like, it's not a big deal. Let's just make it 1 second. That's like a lot of, we're not going to be like updating we're not going to be calling get direction, navigation, whatever, this every frame. But so we can say, what do we say? Like, the easiest way to do it would be make it divisible, but is it always going to be divisible by 1? I need to, like, my brain is like, what does the float look like when you're looking at delta? Does that come in as like points of a second, right? And then if it's divisible by 1 and it doesn't have any decimal points, but it's possible that it's like, we can just have a look at every time it increments. Like, how can we do this? Or we could just like subtract that, like interval remaining, the way I know how to do it, rather than sitting here trying to think of a like slightly fewer line code way of doing it. Direction update interval, and then you could just go interval remaining minus equals delta, and then if interval remaining is less than or equal to 0, then we then direction equals this big thing here, and then we will set the interval remaining to be equal to direction update interval. Right, there we go, easy. And then yeah, then we just call move, and we pass in the direction. That's literally it. It'll just go towards you now. Okay, do we have to set up a room to test this? We actually have no way of getting to that state as well, by the way. So let's just go to the rooms, the testing rooms. Dude, we gotta do some organization here. We've got some floating scenes out here. Fix that up. Just duplicate one of these. The enemy testing room in general, so that we can just drop any enemy we want in here. And we just change the tone up a little bit. And then we do the enemy, and then we can just drop in the tower. Even though it can't even pursue anything yet. Does it crash or something? I don't even know if I've set it up properly. It should just be fine to sit there and not do anything. Okay, here we go. Oh, I haven't set up the sprite properly. That's okay. We can fix that pretty easily. Why? Because it has no shader. It needs a shader. It needs the flash shader. I believe. Close some of these off. Hello, Benka. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you today? Legacy. Oh, that's actually not what that says. Elgin. We'll go with Legacy. Welcome. How are you all? How are you finding the course, Benka? I mean, if there's a different way to say it, just let me know and I'll tell you. I'll call you by that. I can't read. Okay. The first one to ever read it as I. As L. You have to capitalize that. Ignacy. Thank you. Ignacy 4P. I'm not wearing my glasses. I can see my screen, even without them. That's your name? Ignacy, nice. What are we making? We are making a Metroidvania. We're sort of expanding the enemy count. And I'm testing out this new enemy called the Tower, which will just throw stuff at you. And I'm just checking to see if I've set him up properly. And the answer is no. The state machine requires a starting state. And the starting state is going to be idle. Okay, it looks like we're in the game. Wow, we love Metroids, yeah. They're very popular. Okay, so the enemy is there. Obviously, we can't walk past him. Should we make that a feature of the tower? Normally, you can just pass straight through enemies. He doesn't have a hurt box or a hit box, so he doesn't do any damage to the player yet. And I can't actually shoot him. Can't kill him. He just sits there. I'm looking very aggressive and all. But the game doesn't normally look like this. It's more like... Well, it does look like this. Another person I'm going to pronounce their name wrong. Quomitter. Quomitter01. Welcome in. Welcome in. Quomitter, I got it right. Look at all these save games. I really need to like delete some of them. So I actually have to work on the background. I recently decided to change how I'm going to do it. So there is no background right now, which is kind of boring. And also we're starting in the wrong spot, but you know, we've got enemies and whoa, we can shoot them and go into the next room. Am I sensing a bit of lag? Ouch. And take damage. Ouch. I really want to work on the healing animation because there isn't one at the moment. So if I press A, like, yeah, you just heal. These guys aren't doing anything to me. Why are they chasing? They're just a bit slow, I guess. I need to like up the difficulty. I was on Next Fest and I was playing a Metroidvania. I was like, let's see what the competition is. And I booted up this random Metroidvania. What was it called? I was playing it. Where's Steam? Don't mind me, just random Indonesian passing by. Welcome. I don't know any Indonesian words. Otherwise, I'd save them. But welcome, welcome. Been thinking about going there lately. Tori. I was playing this game here. Tori. I don't know how it's pronounced, but it was fine, I guess. The art is really good, but one thing I was noticing is that the level of difficulty was way higher than my project, like significantly. And I was like, okay, maybe I'm making my game too easy. Like the one thing I would criticize it was that like there was not a lot of like invulnerability time. So if you took damage and like there wasn't a lot of feedback, like when you like walked into something, like if you just like accidentally walked into an enemy, it kind of just felt like nothing, and you lost your health and all that kind of stuff. But like overall pretty fun. But yeah, it was so much more difficult than the game I'm making. And I thought, oh, okay, maybe I need to like bump it up, because these enemies, they kind of do nothing. Like this guy is not that aggressive. You know what I mean? Like I can just sort of kite him and break the animation. Still break the animation. Reset it. Prototyping, quick development is proof of concept first, polish later. Yes. We're kind of at that point now where we're sort of polishing it. The game looks insane, but I am not a fan of the screen shake when you kill the enemies. I mean, your game, not Tori. Yeah, fair enough. It's interesting. Maybe I'll give an option to turn it off. Most games have that. Maybe I should just turn it down. Jesus. Where is he? Is there no navigation in this room? Torii gates are essentially hotels for Japanese gods back in the animism era. Oh, interesting. That's where the name comes from. I thought it was like, I thought the game was Chinese, but I guess it was Japanese. Got my lore wrong. Use hit stop in replacement for screen shake. That is something that I've been considering too. You know, I was actually going to do both. I was like, I should do like a hit stop, and I need to do a vignette on the screen while you recover, to let you know like visually that you're like in a state of invulnerability. Ooh, interesting. We crashed. Looks like 9 Souls. It felt like 9 Souls too. I think 9 Souls was better in terms of like the way that it handled things. It had like a really, like the only way to avoid damage in that game was to parry. So the parry mechanic was the main thing. Like I know 9 Souls, I have played a little bit of it, has a parry mechanic, and I'm not a huge fan, to be honest, of parry mechanics, but I know some people like them. And it was the only way, yeah. You got like a damage buff when you did it, but it wasn't as deep as 9 Souls. Like 9 Souls, when you do a parry, you normally get like a special ability, like you can do stuff with that. This game, it just gave you like a straight damage buff. When you add world environment to your project, 10 FPS disappears. I am now building my own full screen shader effect without it. I'm making a game too. I just made a window in SFML. What's that? I'm Googling. Simple Fast Media Library? It's like Flash? Okay, so the enemy is null here, I'm guessing? What enemy was it supposed to be? Ground enemy. Oh, you know what? I think this was not set up using UIDs, but instead it was set up using just the path. Perhaps. Let's have a look at the encounter. We have an ID, we have an encounter array, and we've got the encounter list, which is basically a bunch of scenes, right? Library for C++, nice. See this? Crawler prototype? Crawler prototype? These are all scene paths, but they should be UIDs, because UIDs are just safer in general when it comes to like reorganizing your project. In Monster Hunter, there's a thing called guard point where you unlock combo branch during that window. You get a hit during guard point. That's pretty cool. This game's combat's really simple at the moment, so it's more like Mega Man, but there will be special abilities. I don't know. There's not really gonna. It's one of those things like Should I make it more complicated? Is that necessary? If you dodge an ability, should you get like a bonus? So we should copy the UID, right? Instead. And paste that in. Crawler? You remind me of prime time. That's a big compliment. Thank you. I appreciate that. Airtime. Air enemy airtime. Copy UID. Okay. Okay, so that's UID. Encounter list 2. Air enemy. Copy UID. Just swap these over so we don't have this problem in the future. Because, yeah, I mean, UID is just superior in every single way. It's so funny because when UID was introduced into Godot, I didn't think much of it until I started making this project, and I realized how like helpful it is. Because I think ground enemy got changed to hunter, and that's why it's like crashing. Because I changed the name, and I didn't even consider this fact. And so you change it to hunter, and now like you change it to the UID, and now I can change the name of anything I want. And it's 2 air enemies here. So now in theory, like, I mean, how many other, there's a couple of other points where I use these, but like, let's just be crazy with it and say the air enemy, like I'm trying to give the enemies kind of like more interesting names. Like the hunter is now the hunter instead of just ground based enemy, even though technically now it flies. But that's besides the point. The point is I don't want them to just be called air enemy. Like I want to say that this one here is like a surveillance drone. I don't know how to spell surveillance though. Surveillance. Surveillance. There we go. And now I can change its name without having to worry about breaking the encounter. However, there's a couple of other encounters that I've made which will break, but you know, we can fix those too. So we're just running the surveillance drone. Anyway. Let's just, actually, you know what? Let's just quickly test that change that I made. Let's just bring the game set up to here and just run that. Yeah, imagine all that talking and then it doesn't work. Nah, it seems pretty good. Ugh. Ouch. There needs to be like an end. When you complete one of these encounters, there needs to be like a zoom in or something. We'll get to it. Some kind of celebration. I'm a big believer in prizes. There should be something at the end of that. Okay, but it works. That's the point. Okay, back to the tower. The tower doesn't do anything. The tower has a collision shape and it's on the wrong collision layer. Let's just open up like literally any enemy, doesn't matter which. Let's have a look at their structure. More color contrast and theme. Yeah, we need a lot. Like a lot of these enemies are just gray. Although like I'm fine with that because they're metallic, right? They're meant to be like metallic, so they're always going to be gray with like the lighting highlights and stuff like that. The character is red. There's no background at the moment. That's the big thing. Like I don't know what I'm going to do about that because that's going to be like a lot of work and I'm not much of an artist, but we'll figure it out. So yeah, we need to move it to layer 3. That was the only chat that he skipped. Which one? The first ever streamer to read every chat that deserves a description. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I feel heard by somebody. Yeah, I mean, there's just not a lot of chat going on. Of course I'm going to read it. If there was more, and there you go, I missed one because I was playing. What are we planning for the background? Dunno. It was going to be 3D, but I'm scrapping that because it's not going to work. Which means I need to draw it, which low-key kind of like is a lot of work. So, but it'll probably, like, I'll just do it like a tile map probably, and then, yeah, some like panorama elements or something, yes. I think I still want to use 3D, but I'll just use it a little bit more like seldomly. Like in the original version of it, there was like a window here. I've deleted it. I've deleted the 3D scene. Spaceship as a background would work. Curtis is a troll with a pirate copy of Photoshop on zip on his account, reportee. What? I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Like, by the way, Photoshop is like low-key kind of a ripoff. So like, you know, I didn't say you should do anything, but I do think they require, like, software as a subscription as a whole, like, feels a little bit predatory. Gone are the days you could just buy a program, right? Unlike 3D, mix and match art can be disastrous because people's art style can be different and not cohesive, especially if it has different pixel count and all. Yeah, well, that's the problem. I was inspired by Symphony of the Night. Basically, I was looking at that game and I was noticing that they had like 3D backgrounds, and I was like, that's really cool. I could do something similar, and I can. However, you do run into problems. So what I originally did was I had like an entire, there's like, hold a second. There's like a video here, but like it's gonna play some sound. Just, I'll pause it. Isolated capture, that's not what I want. One of the things that I'm starting to realize as I make my first line, not stop, but like also just mute. It just comes through anyway. See this with the 3D background here? This is sort of like what it was doing. And even the platforms had 3D, but the thing is it's projected. So if you change the camera angle, you could see it come apart, which was a bit of an issue. And also lighting, because it is a 2D game, not a 3D game. So like typically, you would do this in 3D. Parallax. Yeah, I got free parallax. That was the thing. Like, it was really good for that, but the problem was that there was a lot of technical difficulties I could see in the future. Like lighting was going to be a big issue. If you're going to do 3D or 2D, 3D, 2D kind of mixing, I think it's better to approach it from a 3D perspective, because then your sprite is in a 3D world, and when you light it, you only have to do one lighting. For me, because my game is in a 2D world, that lighting doesn't translate over, and so like you're gonna have to do two sets of lighting. It was also not good for performance. So it was like, I think I get like on an uncapped frame, it's like 700 frames currently. Obviously there's not a lot going on right now, but you would lose like 300 frames just off having that in the scene. So maybe we still have like the snow in the background, but what model keyboard do I use? I have a Keychron. I could show. Oh, I can't lift it up. It hurts. One-handed. Wait, I have to sort of like go like this. Okay, so I have a Keychron. What's the model? V1. And it is and the keycaps are Sumiki? They're Japanese. You want to build your own? That's pretty cool. I like this a lot. The issue is it's not big. Like, and so I make mistakes quite often. Later on, install Kel 2M for Blender. It would take complex image and make a mesh. Is it like AI though? Use a few of those for fast parallax. Nice. Yeah, I think I still will sometimes use 3D, but not often. No AI. Okay, good. Sweet. That's awesome, dude. That's sick. How do they do that? Anyway, so yeah, we've sort of abandoned that and I need to redraw them. I think for like the snow background, maybe I can still use 3D, but nothing else. You know what I mean? Like if it's really far away, 3D is fun. Ping. What did I do? Do you use true pixels? It projects images onto the plane, but yeah. I know. It does look cool though. Does it do a really good job of projecting them? Do I use true pixels? Actually, I'm a bit loose with the pixels, to be honest. I should probably be better. I don't really think too much about it. The way that it works is very much like... So a lot of people, I don't know if you know Godot, but you can set the viewport width and height. So I operate with a 320 by 180, which is pretty small, but it's not here in the viewport, and the camera actually sets that based on the width. So the width can be anything, so it should work with like ultra wide monitors in theory. I haven't tested it yet. I probably need to find someone with an ultra wide and see how it looks, but you can sort of see if I run this, and you can see it in the screen, but if I widen it up, nothing changes vertically. But if I do change the verticality, so if I get rid of this screen, we'll sort of punch in a bit. But the height will always be the same. Field scarred. So it should work with a very large range of monitors in theory. You could even play it vertically. I'll put it on a mobile phone and let people play vertically, even though like that would be a horrible experience. Your messages aren't getting through? Change it to live chat. Change it from top chat to live chat. Are they not showing up on screen? They're showing up on screen. Okay. The tower. Try it in 1:1. Like you mean just a square? We have to make it float. So we can go project here. Let's just make the viewport override width to be like 720 by 720. Okay, wrong room. It's a square. Probably, I would say like it's a little bit too zoomed for that. Because once again, it's the viewport height that is determining this. So like you will zoom out, right? Like if it's a really low height. So a square might not be ideal. Or I guess the other way you could do it is you could set it by the width. So it's always going to be 320 wide. That probably makes more sense given the nature of the game, since it's a very horizontal base game. There is some verticality to it. I mean, you could just chuck this on a square monitor though. Like if you had like an RG Cube or something like that, one of those game consoles that are square. In theory. Maybe one day we should try swapping the calculations for the camera. Is that even easy? Let's get distracted. Export of desired pixel width. And it's a float and it's equal to 320. And wherever this goes, we've got 2 matches. Set camera zoom, which is like, we basically go and we set the zoom to be based on the Y. So we can pretty easily, I think just with one line, we just copy this, we'll cut this, and we can say like the zoom is equal to X divided by desired pixel width. Is it not going to autocomplete for me? Does it hate me? Okay. And yeah, I mean, that should really be all that's required for that. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, you'll be more zoomed out, but the width will always be the same. So if I like widen it now, you can see that it zooms. But if I change the height is variable. So if you had like if you had like a really long strip screen, maybe that's better. I don't know. I probably need to like get people with different size screens to see how that feels. The thing is with this is that when it comes to designing rooms, I basically operate on that it is no higher than 180. So like, I know basically there's like a source of truth. I know that when I'm making an encounter room, that it's going to be 180 tall, and you're always going to be able to see the ceiling, which means you always know what's going on. But yeah, I mean, maybe I can make it in a setting basically to change like how wide or tall you want it. Because I'm like not particularly fussed about it. So now you could have like a vertical, you could have this on your phone vertical style. 9:16, no problems. Playable. Anyway. Is it going to be full screened? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the intention. One day. I need to get it onto browsers first. I'm going to put it on itch as like an alpha so that people who watch the stream can play it. It's going to be pretty soon. I've been putting it off for weeks. It's basically ready to be tested. I'm just sprucing it up so that, because I don't want people to tell me that the art sucks. And like, I don't want that kind of feedback. So I'm trying to make it so that I won't get that kind of feedback, but you never know. Like I should just probably have like a more open mind and let people play around with it. But yeah, the intention is to play it on full screen. Where am I going? I need the enemy test room. Okay, the tower needs to actually like die. Really basic stuff. Hurt box. Collision shape. Make it a rectangle. Change its color because it takes damage. Square is also fine here. I guess there's kind of a bit of an issue that its shape is a bit funny. Maybe I'll make it a triangle, a convex polygon. Oh yeah, I should just do it like a convex. Let's delete that. Just make it convex. Convex. No, polygon. Polygon. This is the keyboard is collision polygon. Okay. And then we can just draw it. It's fine. Go to about there. There you go. Headbox done. Reminds me of ancient alien technology from Vimana. Yeah, I was trying to come up with like different ideas. I was sort of like, everything is... one thing I'm trying to stick to is like what is it? Geometry. Like I'm trying to stick to like shapes. So, you know, like the crawler is like an oval. I need to change its name. It's a Roomba. Crawler prototype. You know what I mean? Like it is literally just a circle. And then the air enemy, which is now called a surveillance drone, you know, it has like a very much, it's circle, but then it's got like these sort of like rhombus style. They're like triangular on the left and the right. And then the hunter is literally just a triangle. But I was sort of like thinking about fish. So it's just going to like come towards you. That's all it does. It just chases you, essentially. So everything is just basic shapes. It's not complicated. But this guy, I was sort of like trying to sort of come up with a bigger enemy. It sort of took a bit of a turn. It, like originally I was sort of inspired by like the Dalek from Doctor Who. But then I wanted it to look unique, so I sort of started drawing over it, and that's what I ended up with. But yeah, it does have like that kind of face to it, right? And when it dies, it's going to bleed out of its eyes. I don't know why I decided to make it do that. Instantly recognizable shape is a healthy in any game. Very important in FPS Twitch games. Yeah, so you know like... okay, that's the one that's going to chase me. I need to jump because it's instantly going to charge at me. Press the jump button. And this guy, he is going to start... you want to like... this guy is going to be a priority target because he's going to start throwing projectiles that explode all over the screen. And that's like going to be a problem for you. So you have to kill this guy quickly. I don't know how much health I want to give him. Speaking of health, we need to give him some enemy health. And give him a hurt box. How much health? 100? That's 10 hits. One tap gameplay? Yeah, exactly. 10 hits is probably a bit much. I want it to have a fair bit of health. 70? 7 hits? Maybe that's fair. So this is like a drop everything and start dumping bullets into this guy kind of enemy. Target scan time. Okay, so we need a lot. We need to add a lot for this. Target scan. State machine. On-screen notifier. We do need one of those. Visible on-screen notifier. So that we know to do stuff. Stick this just behind everything because they're super annoying. We could make this bigger. There's another thing as well, like in terms of like making the enemies activate. Like we could actually make this like bigger than the enemy so that if they're just off screen, they can start pursuing. Dunno. Thoughts? Target state? I don't know. Oh, that's fine. It's not going to do anything. And animation player. Okay, so that's all set up. Now we do need a hitbox for the proximity damage. Collision shape. Make this just small. Doesn't have to be that big. Just do an oval. And just have it go like that. It's pretty generous. Not that much. You know what I mean? So like this, you can sort of touch the sides without getting into trouble. Actually, oh no, I changed my mind on that. We'll do another triangle, but we'll just make it smaller within the player. So polygon, actually we can just copy the hurtbox one and then change it. So that you sort of have to like really be touching him. You know? Okay. I can turn that off. Okay. And then, yeah, signals, health 0, we're gonna signal out to the tower. Now this has got a script on it, but I probably want to extend it. I would say, because we do have like a on screen health container health 0 signal. I see your channel. Do you try to create 3D games? What happened? Did you drop it? I'm terrible at animation. So, yeah, that was pretty much it. Like when I decided to make a bigger project, I was like, okay, I can't really do 3D animation very good. I struggle with it, and I ended up spending a lot of time on it, right? So it made it really difficult to like get a project off the ground that wasn't just like basic shapes. And so it's like, okay, if we switch back to 2D, it's a little bit simpler. I have to animate everything, but like I can do that in a day. You know what I mean? Or in the case of like the character, it took a little bit longer, but I can do it. I don't, it's like, I don't like set it all up and then export it out from Blender and it looks like total trash. I'm terrible at modeling, but that isn't stopping me. Yeah, and that's fine too. You know what I mean? Like, also welcome, Kara. It's really just like, I just didn't want to deal with the 3D troubles. That was basically it. Not use Mixamo. Yeah, but Mixamo has its limitations as well. Pretty much. Because I could do this game in 3D, it wouldn't be that hard, but I would have to like design every single enemy. I'd also have to like, also if you say you wanted to do, like I wanted to do a Metroidvania, right? Like a 2D side scroller. I could absolutely do that in 3D, and I think I would have a lot of fun doing it, like Metroid Dread style. And I've designed prototypes like that before, but the issue is, you're giving up a lot of really good tools in Godot to do that, right? So you lose like the tile map editor, learn the skin modifier and Blender. It will save a lot of energy, and it's different to the current sculpt first labor intensive process. Although I will upload my tree to be laughed at. It'll really feel better. Yeah, so like I could absolutely do this in 3D, like from a technical perspective, that's not difficult for me. But yeah, it's just, if I think about doing a 2D side scroller, like doing it in 2D, you get a lot more tools in Godot. Like it's just better. So I don't think it's worth, like personally, I don't think it's, at least for me, it's not worth it. To have to like model everything and all that kind of stuff, it's kind of annoying. Whereas you can just set up a tile map in 2D. 3D in Godot is possible, but in such roundabout ways. I mean, it's never going to look like, it's never going to look AAA. There's some games that look really good. People have done it. I'm doing 2D with 3D in the latest game, testing draw calls and whatnot. Nice, dude. Yeah, you can just like, it's a one button thing in Godot. You just press the like lock 2D and then you can make a 2D game with, oh, Space Invader clone. Nice, yeah. So as long as you lock the axis, then all of the like character bodies and physics will just all happen on a single like 2D plane. But like obviously it's all in 3D. Not super difficult. I've actually made a game. I've like literally made a Metroidvania with 3D. I don't know if it's still on my page. This was years ago. What have we got? Oh, I made it hidden. Interesting. Wonder why I did that. Interesting. I'm not logged in. It is published, it's just not on my page. At least you've made games. Mine's been in development hell for 5 years, constantly dumped and recreated. Yeah, that sucks. Is this like a download? Hell yeah. I broke my player setup and decided that it was the start of a 2 hiatus. You're just like, all right, I'm done. a 2-day hiatus. You're like, I'm taking a break. Dude, does this still run? I don't know what the audio is going to be like. Brace yourself. OBS. Desktop audio is muted, so you won't hear it anyway. What's this going to do? Oh, it opened up on the other screen. Hold. There we go. Here we go. This was my OG, like 2D. I don't remember the controls or anything. It's got like a whole 3D thing. It has like a CG intro and everything. When making a big 3D project, I have a friend who has been learning prototype modeling that's pretty talented and wanted my help to program. Yeah, teaming up is important. So this was for Kenny Jam, so you had to use Kenny's assets. Dude, what are the buttons? Spacebar, because you decided to go around that asteroid field instead of straight through. You know, you could have navigated that, but no, you always have to pilot. Where's that? Oh, it's this thing is talking. Pure human superiority complex. Oh, look, I've still got the idea. I saw that your contract, you're slated for conversion as soon as your flabby thing expires. Yeah, I've been working on this idea with AI for a while now. I could make that happen right now, you know. Oh, this is so stupid. Let's go. Let's get to the gameplay. Dude, we've got audio design too. What the hell? Move with A and D. What the hell? It's not detecting my inputs. Jump with space, kick with right mouse button. Shoot with left mouse button. Aim with mouse. Okay, thanks. You can kick. So yeah, I could do this. I can't shoot. I don't know what's going on. I literally can't shoot. Jitter. The lag and stuff is pretty bad. So the whole thing was the puzzles. You have to connect in order to restore power. Rotate each transistor to line up with the diodes. Dude, what is going on here? I think this is broken. Create a path. No, it has to be there. No, okay, so this. Huh? I can't even work out my... Oh, I did it. I still can't shoot, by the way. I'm just going to have to melee everything down. Anyway, it doesn't work very well. It's a bit broken. But yeah. Okay, sorry, I was ignoring chat while I was playing my own game. Okay, another thing is maybe next time you run it through virus total. Yeah, I should virus check my own game. 100%. Okay, Unreal. PC Blender is a different creature to others. It has faster workflow. Yeah, Blender is pretty good. And then Kero is behind, which is pretty funny. This is a normalcy killer, jitter. Yeah, it's not the best. It's old. So yes, can I do it? Yes. Do I want to? No. Okay, so this guy has a hurt box now. Who needs a gun when you have legs? Yeah, well, it was working. it got like pretty much ignored. I think like there's a level of appeal. I don't know. Yeah, it's an interesting thing when it comes to like game jams. I've had like heaps of success with some games, and other games just like get completely buried. And I'm not really sure what drives that, because it's mostly based on like the thumbnail, right? I guess like it's mostly the thumbnail when it comes to itch. Like you're just looking at a bunch of tiles. Build it to web for low barrier of entry for players to play. Yes. So this game will be, when I launch it for like alpha testing, it will be playable in the web because it is really basic. Like I can just run it in HTTP browser, like without issue. But I don't know how long it takes to pack. I hope I didn't like store things too much. We'll see. We'll see. Gonna pack up a lot of explosion reverb. Okay, so we're gonna have to clean up the project a little bit before we do that, I think, because we've got a lot of audio in here that we're not using, which is bad. Like, yeah, we have to do a lot of cleanup. I wonder what the project size is, actually. Can I click anything? No. Can't click it. It's okay, we'll navigate. Web builds will make you cry if it's intended for desktop, yeah. Well, the project is really small, like physically anyway. I'm pretty sure. Like that was pretty long. I don't even see it running, so maybe it's broken. Open in terminal. Open in File Explorer. What's the size of the project? What do we reckon? At bin? It's 300 megabytes currently. That's pretty big, actually. 338. 9.9 megs. In Unity back in 29 was about 25. I need to cut down. I think it's a lot of audio. I'll break out the Tree Explorer because of how long it takes or because the end result. I think the length of time, right? Like if you make a project too big, run specific scene. It like repacks it. I can't cancel it now. I don't know why that didn't run. Is it like in a browser that I can't see? Oh yeah, it is. It's running over here. Like it just like got buried. Yeah, so it runs in the browser without issue. Although, ooh, interesting. It's gonna do it again. We don't need that. Ooh, and that's okay. We're back. Yeah, that is actually an interesting thing. These guys aren't moving at all. That's working. Ooh. The preloads. Yeah, okay, so there's some issues. Those guys aren't functioning at all, which is really interesting. I think this room is broken anyway. This guy doesn't have like a... We weren't having this issue before. And so when I added all this art, I guess I added a lot of like load. So I wonder if that's loaded up now, if it'll be an issue when I kill another one. No, it's not. Okay, so I just need to like probably work on my loading. And also like, why are none of the crawlers working? Is that something that I've broken in the game in the process, or is it just something to do with Huh. You also have a factor in all the assets on the web builder are easily accessible by pirate sellers. I mean, if you're using Godot, everything is accessible, right? Like saving state is also contentious. Interesting. Fortunately, the game doesn't take that long to play through. Okay, so they are just broken. What did I do? I broke my crawlers. I turned off the on-screen notifier. It's always the on-screen notifier. Maybe run it in Chrome. Okay. I don't know. I'd have to set Chrome as my default browser, but that feels dirty. Feels wrong, man. We'll worry about it later. I was reading about how easy it is to rip things from Godot. Even the encryption is less about technical DRM barrier and more about legal stuff. Yeah, it's really easy with Godot. You can decompile any project, no problems. Like, I don't really mind. I don't have much like, oh, they're going to steal my game. It's like, all right, bro. What you going to do? Like, people decompiled Slay the Spire like in seconds. Because taking the time decrypt is proof that you knew you were stealing in court. Ah, interesting. Ah, okay. So maybe I should just encrypt it just for the sake of it. I wonder if Slay the Spire is, or if it's just like open. What does it even look like? If you like just inspect the project files, I don't even know. Well, it definitely doesn't look like Godot project, I can tell you that much. Well, yeah, you'd still have to like decompress it from here, wouldn't you? Yeah. Make it free to play. If they want to steal it, go ahead. It's already free. I mean, I'm hoping this to be a commercial project eventually, but we're going to start with just testing it. And like, if it doesn't go anywhere, it will just remain to be free. Giving away the source makes it worse. Goons compile and sell. Yeah, that's way, yeah. That's true. That would piss me off too. I mean, I don't really care if someone steals the game, but it's more like if someone's selling it and pocketing money that should really belong to me. That's crazy. I don't know how you deal with that. Diapers, please, is a current example. Oh yeah, I heard about that. They had a really big. They made a video and everything. It got like put on the like the Apple Store, right? I do remember this. Our game was stolen. I watched this vlog. Was it about a year ago? I wonder if things worked out for them. Have they like done an update? From blank canvas to final roguelike version of Yes, Your Grace. Okay, so they've moved on to another project. Ministry of Order. Okay, so that's 6 years ago. Okay. Wait, what the heck? $6K 1 year ago. I misread that, my bad. Mobile release. Okay, okay. They just making other projects now. I remember people were accusing it of being AI too. It's just their art style, I guess. Internal test one note kept coming. The game is too stressful. Apple didn't do anything. They took a cut and shrugged. Yeah, I mean, Apple doesn't care. They don't care about some little indie guy. We can't put any like pressure on them. So why would they give a shit? Someone stole your project. They'll sue you to high heaven if you stole something from them. But the inverse is not something they're concerned about. I should play their games. This is why people go life service free to play. You just physically can't steal it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's it. It's like, if it's all online, games as a service is like, it is what it is. The selling point is being a part of the community in a way. You know, you want to be like having the, you know, whatever the items are, like you do your Genshin Impact style gacha games. Also gambling, obviously, so you get that going for you. I'm not a big fan of the format, to be honest. I think it does ruin a lot of like what is good about games, but you know, I mean, piracy has always been a problem, right? Like since games have existed, people have pirated them, and it's not really anything new. It's like, it's just is what it is kind of thing. You sort of just have to accept it. Someone stealing your game and selling it, that's a big deal. Especially in this day. Like, I don't think anyone cared that you could like buy like burnt copies of PlayStation 1 discs in like Bali or Thailand or whatever, wherever you went. Like if you were in like Europe, maybe you went to like Egypt and you could do that. But like, you know, now that you can just go online and buy like a ripped version of it, that's crazy to me. Okay, the tower should be killable. No one is going to clone my Vader's clone on itch. I get knowledge comprehension without it being scammed. Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, I don't think anyone will steal theirs. It's not a complete project. So even if I put it up as alpha, maybe I will just encrypt it for the sake of it. But like, yeah, it's like you literally, there's not anything that's worth stealing at the moment. Okay, the hitbox needs to be on the player hurt box 5, and the hurt box needs to be on the enemy hurt box, I think. Or 100% here in Indo, all the PlayStation rentals run pirated games. Yeah, I mean, it was sort of like a known thing. Like if you were going overseas, you just buy like the really cheap things. I mean, you could even do it in Australia. It was just harder to find. And that, yeah, like I'm pretty sure you needed like a modded PlayStation as well. I don't know. I remember like I was more of a Game Boy guy. Like I bought like a pirated version of Harvest Moon for my Game Boy. It worked. It was very cheap. Yeah, let's see if we can kill this guy, and then I think I have to go to work. Tower room. This is the enemy testing room. I much like it when it's not loading, because then it's easy to... 100 games for $5, that's a steal. Dude, I mean, those were the days though. Like, I kind of like that feeling when you're like on holiday somewhere and you find like just some random dude at a market stall selling like random games you've never heard of. And like you can tell that they're not real because like they've printed the label on like a faded sticker or something like that. It's just kind of fun. Like, you don't know what you're going to get. Like, these days, you just go on, like, Vim. I really like retro gaming, so you just go on vim.net. I don't know if that's, like, I'm allowed to say that, but whatever. He doesn't flash. He doesn't die. But yeah, the days of finding, like, a random market stall and, like, getting a surprise... it's kind of like over. Okay, we got a bunch of hitboxes. I duplicated them unintentionally. Something is consuming the hit. If I set it up properly, is the hurt box on the right thing? The hitbox should be on 5 and the hurt box should be on 4. Hurtbox 4. Let's just put it on both just to be sure. Like I've done with others. Then we've got the health container. I don't think the health container was emitting any signals. Yes, I got that far and I was like, we got distracted. So it inherits AI enemy tower, create. Okay, we put a script on this and we are going to emit a signal from the hurt box, enemy health container, health 0. And also, like, I've been thinking about this. We've got the enemy health container. Can you like derive like a signal? Can you like redo a signal? Like you can here, signal health 0 or damage taken emit. Is that allowed or does it get cranky? The member already exists, yeah. Delegate signals. Yeah, is that a thing? Because like, it's just cool if I could just like add a variable to that because I know it's going to get one if it's an enemy. As we emit the direction with that. Whatever, I'll just input it myself. But realistically, we're just going to queue free at this point. Not much to do here. Actually, yes, there is to do. AI enemy on health container 0 is what I want to connect it up to because there's like way more going on here. So let's go back to the tower. It is important to do these things correctly. Delete that, go here, edit this, and then make it go to this. Or also we can pick and connect. And I guess it just disappears, like in the script, it won't be visible and yeah, whatever. But it should die. Health container 0. And I don't know how let's have a look at the sprite here. This is chase direction. Enemy sprite. How does it know to flash when it takes damage? Does it go to the health container, signals, damage taken? Yep, okay, so we do that. We edit that. On health container, damage taken, just to the sprite, okay. We are remembering. Damage taken to the sprite. Okay, connect. Or I could just pick it. On health container, damage taken. Connect. Okay. Tower. Enemy testing room. Run this. Should be able to kill this guy and then we can work on the AI. Another day. Oh, he's not visible, but I can definitely and kill him. Okay, why did he disappear? What the hell? I turned off his visibility. I must have done that by accident. Okay, cool. So yeah, now we just have to set up the AI. Okay. Easy. And that's me, because I have a real job that I have to go to. But hey, thank you all for hanging out. Thank you for the new people. I see you. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're there on YouTube. And if you're on Twitch, give us a follow. I'll be back on Saturday. Saturday morning. And then on Monday, we have the community game night. So if you have a game that you're working on and you want me to play, join the Discord and submit it in the community game night. I'll make a post as well today about that. I'll schedule a stream so that you guys know when it's going to be, but it'll be on Monday night. So that's Australian time at 7 p.m. on Monday. But you guys have a good day. I'm going to go look at some fancy numbers for my job so I can get paid so I can keep doing this. See you guys later.